There, Steve from the Aroundtable. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's an end of an era. Thursday, we heard the announcement that Amazon MGM have taken over the James Bond franchise. So, long serving producers Barbara Broccoli and Michael G. Wilson are out. Basically, they are considered co owners, but I'm assuming it's kind of like the George Lucas scenario with Disney. He's in the background but has no say on where the series goes, or and I'm sure that's the same for them. They got paid out approximately, I think, $1 billion. So they took the money and they ran. I know there's been a standstill for a while. Amazon, MGM, and Barbara Broccoli were having issues on where to take this character. I remember him very vividly. My first film was Moonraker, and I know it's not the greatest James Bond of all time, but it was entertaining. And it gave me this fantasy of adventure, girls, guns, gadgets, and that was the appeal at one point of the series. In the 60s and 70s, it was a trailblazing series. It was, every man wanted to be James Bond, be cool, suave, debonair, but able to have himself in a fight, have the gorgeous woman by his side, have a gun, a gadget, a car. Nowadays, it's a different world. It's not really seen the same way. And although Daniel Craig did a great job in trying to reinvent this franchise, showing a flawed character, a broken character, it's there's a lot of competition out there. Like there was the Born Identity, there's Mission Impossible that have become the new trailblazers. There's Reacher, Jack Ryan. There's a whole bunch of other movies, and James Bond has kind of taken a second seat to these things. They don't know how to modernize him. And I'm hearing online that everybody's worried, like now we're gonna get a woman James Bond, we're gonna get this kind of James Bond, whatever. But Amazon MGM have done well with a lot of shows. We have Reacher, Jack Ryan, Fallout, what else? The Boys. They're all doing well. So if I had my way, perfect world scenario, Fallout, Jonathan Nolan get behind this to become the creative leader of this show or movie. I don't know if they're going to keep it to TV, movies, both. I'm assuming there's going to be movies and spin-off series. I'd like to see a Spectre series to see how it happened, how it came to be. That would have been cool. If you get Jonathan Nolan on board, if anybody knows anything, his brother Christopher Nolan is a huge James Bond fan. I'm sure he could talk him into filming a pilot, and how awesome would that be? So there's a lot of potential in this, handing over the reins kind of thing to Amazon MGM. So it's sad. It's an end of it. These are the people, those are the names I always saw on the screen, and I said, okay, now I know I'm going to get a good James Bond film. At least it'll be entertaining for sure with the same people who know the character. But maybe it does need new blood and a new fresh set of eyes and ears and hands and writing, because if we look at the franchise, there's maybe, I'm going to say, 8 outstanding James Bond films. Then there's another 5 or 6 maybe that are good, and then you have a few, View to a Kill and Octopussy, and in a certain extent, some people don't like the Dalton era at all. I do. Some people don't like the Pierce Brosnan era. I did. There's a few clunkers in that, and for good reason. But I mean, it has been on for 50 years. I mean, there's gonna be clunkers. No series is perfect by any stretch of the imagination. So in a way, I am excited by this. Maybe we need a change of the guard in order to make modernized Bond, because he was called a Cold War relic, right? In Goldeneye, and maybe he is, and maybe it's time to see where we can take this character. Although I'd like to see him remain Bond and maybe be that fish out of water in the modern world. Like maybe he's secluded somewhere, doesn't do any service for MI6, and then is needed for this mission that no one else could do. And but he's that Captain America, that man out of time kind of thing would be an interesting take on it. And I would like to see that. And if I had my way, Jonathan Nolan from Fallout. Like I said, his brother's Christopher Nolan, who's a huge James Bond fan. And if you look at his films, he has that. He can do it. He's done it. A lot of his films, the scenery, the locations look like a Bond film. So it would be cool. If I had my way, I'd get Nolan on board and do it that way. But that's me. Again, so I'd like to thank Michael G. Wilson and Barbara Broccoli for years and years of entertainment. I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. You made a little boy believe that he could save the world, you know. And I think a lot of little boys who watched James Bond thought they could too. And it was great, great entertainment. So I thank you for the bottom of my heart. You put a smile on my face. I'm probably going to watch a couple of James Bond today in dedication and give my salute to them. So thank you again, and see you soon, guys.